What is going on, good people? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Say That Podcast. And y'all know the drill. Don't say this, say that. Before I begin, I just want to remind y'all of the awesome event we have coming up, along with AOA Studios, Turntable Teachers, Mindflex Records, Diasporia, and Virtue Dese. It is going to be at the Diasporia headquarters in Cambridge, Massachusetts on April 13th. That's a Saturday. That is the week before 420. It's called Bloomfest. We have an amazing lineup of artists on it. Some of the heaviest hitters in Massachusetts, as well as some of the best underground talent we also have. Be there. You can use various amounts of promo codes, get 15% off tickets leading up to the event. So make sure you do that because it is an event you do not want to miss. And as always, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, please leave a like and comment. And as always, follow us on Instagram, say_that_pod. I know it's a mouthful. I've been trying to get the username changed. That's besides the point. But today, I know I say a lot of episodes are special, but this one's very special to me. I got two guys in here that over the last couple of years I've come to know. They are unbelievable people, very, very solid. Please welcome Chairman Chow and Big Dese. What's going on, everybody? Yeah. How you gentlemen doing today?
Doing good.
I'm all right. You know what I mean? Yeah. Chow, you doing, brother?
Oh, real good, man.
Yeah.
Always.
This is a long time coming. Trust me. This is one of those things. When we had the comeback mapped out, I put a couple names on the list with the Dunnas. Shout out Lonetree ain't here right now, and Chairman Chow, but I'm able to get y'all in here right now.
Hell yeah.
So, the good people who don't know who you are, please give us a solid introduction as to who you two fine gentlemen are. Dese, I'm gonna start with you.
Big Dese, I just be rapping all the time, and that's about it. One half of the Dunnas. Shout out to Oak, and
that's why I like. That's the thing about Dese. You just be rapping, bro. You be rapping your ass off.
Even on stage, like I let Oak do the talking.
Right, exactly.
I'm just there for the verse.
Yeah, you really are. You're like the he's like the Paul Heyman. You're the Brock Lesnar. You know what I mean? That type of shit.
Yeah, he got some Brock in him too.
No,
yeah. Nah, he definitely.
Not in the bad way, like what just came up recently, but yeah. You know, hey, John, you know what I mean? But yeah.
I'm out of the loop with that.
All right. Oh, yeah. I'll get to that. I'll get to that later. I'm gonna get you up.
Yeah, Chairman Chow. I mean, I went through a couple names. Actually, this is the third name.
Really? What are the other two?
I'm not going to tell you the first one. I'll tell you the second one, Champ Chuck, because if you find the first one, you're going to find some raps. It's not cringy, but like no one wants to hear their old stuff.
No,
unless they're like, Jay-Z. But anyways, yeah, man, I went through a couple different hats. You know what I mean? I still wear multiple hats. Producer, engineer, what else? Videographer.
Photography.
You know what I mean? Photography, all that. But I just like to create.
That's what's up. And I feel you about not wanting to look up your name, because if you look up Repeat on SoundCloud, there's going to be some shit that you do not want to hear.
That's what I'm saying.
Because it was me and my homie recording out of his phone in his grandmother's house with some cringy ass freaking remixes. I remember I did a remix to Work Hard, Play Hard. I thought I went off. I thought personally I went off, but then you hear other people listening like, nah, that ain't Chief. I'm like, yeah. Right,
and real quick, Dese, he doesn't really speak much about himself, but dude's incredible with the raps. He's also 100%. Been, he's been this dope for like 20 years or plus. He did a lot of the freestyle battles back in the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which ones were it again?
Scribble Jam?
Yeah, he went to
Super Bowl battle.
You know what I mean? He was doing his thing. So, and also, he just won like that Red Bull joint. I don't know if that's ever gonna come out because some of the stuff that was said, but not by him. But
every like real good freestyle battle I've been in never comes out the footage.
Why?
I don't know. Like the Super Bowl battles and. I didn't win it, but I was like, my first round was crazy, and KRS-One hosted it. For the footage never came out, and then this one hasn't been out either.
I don't think
so you'd
that's
be like
out.
battling though. Yeah.
I mean, I pride myself on the freestyle.
Of course.
Off the top, yeah.
Nah, dog. Rolling in a car with this dude's crazy because, like, don't get me wrong. I freestyle with all the homies and stuff like that, but
everybody's got a 16 somewhere. Let me tell you.
Nah, but with him, he's got a 1600, and with me, I'm just trying to, go off the rhyme scheme that he's doing, and I'm coming up with 3 or 4 multis or something like that. I try and punch.
He's good off the top.
I bet he is. I bet he
this
is.
Dude, bro, he got a song written. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, bro, that's the song right there, bro.
I feel like he already got a song written right now, and it said he was telling us. You know what I mean?
It's funny because I'd be at work and like I work with like an old guy, no interest in hip hop.
Oh, of course.
But like sometimes I drill, I drill holes in the ground.
Yeah.
But like sometimes I'm just running the drill, like I'm running it, and the dude will be looking at me and I'm zoning out, and I'm like thinking about, and he's like, I could tell, like he's like, I wish I had something in my head that I could think of to make the time go.
No, that's solid though. Because hey, it shows how good of an artist you are. You know what I'm saying? If you're always thinking about your next rap, it's that type of shit. So
it's crazy, bro. Crazy.
I know.
So, Chow, one thing that me and you have talked about off camera, about, what was it, 3 years ago now, you gave up your full-time job to go pursue Chow Films.
Yeah, so that was the jump.
So what was like the thought process leading up to that? Because that's a big jump, especially for someone to take a chance on themselves like you did.
Yo, it's funny. The last job interview I had, and I used to like really hold jobs down and not like bounce around a lot. But then towards the end, I just wasn't happy. I didn't feel like my purpose was there. And the last job interview I had, really great spot. But I remember being in the interview, and the owner of the spot's like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And I was like, working for myself. Like, I jumped up. Like, it was like a download from source. I'm not religious, but, it was a higher power. It literally hit me with that. And I was like, working for myself. And I didn't think I was going to get the job. Because, a lot of times an employee...
That's not the shit they want to hear, right?
It's an investment in you as well, and you're investing their time in them. I thought it was going to take 5 years. It took like a year and a half when I was over there. But, that jump came because, I'm not going to lie, I was calling out once or twice a week, and the only reason I still had a job was the pandemic, because they didn't want to hire somebody else, and I was pretty good at my job, but it was one of those things of, if I'm calling out to go make, at the time, like, $500 on a music video or whatever, like, why I'm not gonna be at my job making $200 a day or whatever it is. Like,
fuck that.
I was calling out every Saturday, and they just knew. You know what I mean? They were like, yeah, you're not going to be here for a while, or long, rather. And, shout out to my wife. Actually, Dese was one of the first dudes, like, the biggest reason I was able to make that jump was because of my networking. You know what I mean? I knew pretty much the whole city when it came to rappers. And not everybody was willing to let me shoot my first video with them and stuff like that. It was these guys, and they're my homies, but they were putting money in my pocket. They knew. You know what I mean? They respect it. Dese is like the best fucking client ever, dog. Like, he's gonna feed you.
He can do it all, man. Too.
I appreciate that.
He's a Swiss Army. Now.
No, of course. And like how when I was coming back from to get the promo ready for the show, and obviously that was the night of what was the name of the show you guys do? The Lowlights.
Yeah, that was the homecoming show.
That was the homecoming
Odessa.
show, the Lowlights. That was that was my first interaction with both of y'all. Actually, I think I had met you like at the It was a Feed the Family show last March.
Okay.
That one with Jeff.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And you see me there, and I was like, oh, yeah, what's up? And it's like, I could tell, like, yo, this motherfucker can rap his ass off. Like, you weren't even there. You were just standing there, and shit like that.
It's all about the look.
Exactly.
You
got the look. Yeah. So, and I was like, yeah, like, I'm coming back for the pod. Why not hit up Chow?
Yeah.
And shit like that. Because that's the thing, as a person who's not in, like, rapping or making videos, it's at least if I can make that connection and know that, like, not even the shit that I got in my back pocket, but it's like, all right, who do I want to give my money to?
Absolutely.
I want to give it to Chairman Chow.
Yeah.
Because I know it's quality work. Yeah. I know the guy. I fucking love the guy and shit like that.
Likewise,
you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, why not give it to him and that shit? But thank God you a good client, because there's a lot of bad clients out there. You know what I mean?
Yo, I'm not gonna lie.
There's a lot of bad clients.
I'm super blessed. Yeah. Like I've definitely dealt with some clients. I actually, fun fact, like, I've had so many clients that, like, when I hear bad client situations, I'm like, damn. And then one of them, every once in a while pokes their head up, and I just completely repel whatever energy they're bringing towards me. Here's your deposit back. I'm not dealing with that. I'd rather work on some stuff that is going to be, I want to be able to show it to, if Jay-Z walked in the room right now,
right,
or Rock Marciano walks in the room, yo, what's your last video? Oh, you do video? Yeah. I want to be, the last thing I did, I just be like, yo, it just dropped. Peep. So that's where I put my energy. But also the biggest thing, like you said, the Swiss Army knife thing. It wasn't just video that I was doing. I had beats, and at the time too, when I just started making beats, you'd always hear dudes talk about starving artists, this, that, and the third. I came from like corporate jobs and stuff. So and then the last place I wasn't a corporate place. It was like a small family business or whatever. But I always had that, like, business mentality. So when it came to, like, all right, I could sell beats, bro. I was selling crazy beats. Like when homies would be like, "It's gonna take you 10 years to sell a beat." That's how long it took me. It was like, bro, my first check was Bodega.
Really?
Like 6 months in.
That's what's up.
You know what I mean? Actually,
shout out to them.
Yeah, shout out to them. That came out a really good time too.
Because I had interviewed Drew White a couple of, well, this is going on like 3 years ago, but that was like a big interview.
That's
for us.
fire.
So
Hell yeah,
up.
bro.
Yeah, shout out to that.
But it was one of those things of like, yo, they sent me a nice number and sent me some gear, and I was like, word. Yeah. But then the next interactions with rappers, and they have like a fifth of that budget. You know what I mean, for like individual joints. Yeah. But the main thing is customer service. Oh, you know what I mean? That's all it is. Like I could sell whatever I need to, whatever service I need to provide. I just need to learn
and
it.
I feel like that's kind of like a lost thing because a lot of people look at, either selling beats, or selling artwork, or selling whatever the hell you're selling. That's not a physical, like what I do. Like I work in retail for a family business. It's my family's business, but it's like rappers ain't buying fucking magnets and ornaments, bro. What the fuck? They ain't coming to my store. I work in Phantom Hall. They may be going to the bars there, but they ain't working in my store. They ain't going to my store to buy. It's just because it's like, what the fuck do they need that for? So it's good that you got that customer service thing because I feel like in this cutthroat industry, we're kind of losing that. We're losing, especially as you.
I didn't know until I started doing video.
Right.
I was
which
like,
is
bro,
crazy.
I have, shout out to some of the homies that are very reliable. I hire a lot of homies to do bigger shoots and stuff. Like if I got a nice budget for a shoot, I'm not gonna put all the pressure on myself. I'm gonna hire somebody. You know what I mean? I'm gonna hire somebody, second shooter, third shooter, blah blah blah. Some people have definitely left me in a very bad situation, but some of my homies are really really great. And then I got people I look up to as well. You know what I mean? Like, bro, I'll give him his flowers right now. Trill is bliss. Mm-hmm. Probably top 3 videographers to me. Media Systems
Code. He followed me a couple months back. Just
he's the man, bro.
Oh, that's what's
he's
up.
The man. Like
I'm connected with him.
He was the reason I had him and Jonas. Jonas M was my mentor at the time, and not even like crazy mentor, but I'd hit him up about little things here and there, and he would just give me the sauce, and I'm like, all right, thank you, bro. Yeah. He went full time with the video stuff real early. I was texting him the 5 months before I did it, and he's like, "You're not ready. You're ready." And then as soon as he said that, I was like, "Boom!" I gave him a month and a half because I love the place. Yeah. I also called out all the time, but but yeah, man.
But that's what's up. And one thing about your photography and videography, and I'll say this because I say it all the time. You're one of those guys who, if somebody posts your pic and they don't tag you, or let's say I don't see the tag immediately, I'm like, that's a Chow pic.
I appreciate that.
Vid. And it's funny because the other night when you were at the Rome Street Show, I didn't even know you were there until Feed the Family started posting your pics. I was like, oh, Chow is there. So I texted Jeff Porter. I'm like, oh, you saw Chow there? I'm like, yeah, that's just something. Like, literally, that's how I knew you were there.
Hell yeah.
So, like, how do you, like, just pick that style and make it, like, so, like, I want to say iconic because that's how, if I can identify you off of pic, then that, to me, that's, like, your signature style.
Yeah, I got a few styles that I lean into. I do the fisheye joints. Those are really hard to do in low light though, so I don't do them often. But the black and white grainy joints and excuse me, a big part of my style is I'm shooting at portrait. For those who are watching at home, you hold the camera like this, or how your iPhone just normally is, because I want to throw them in my stories. Yeah. I'm terrible about. I shouldn't say that. I'm big and believe. In what you say is reality. Yeah. I'm getting better about posting my work. I do a lot of work though. So if I'm banging out
everywhere.
2 or 3 videos a week, probably editing, 500 photos a week or something like that. Even when I go to like a Beyond Wrestling, I take as many photos as I do for a wedding because it's live action. So I've gotten like, stop here, like this, black and white, boom, add some grain to it. I actually edit photos. You've seen me very quick. I'm not your photographer who's gonna sit there and do an hour edit on a photo. No. I don't know how to do that. I'm so honest with you, bro. I'll learn it. If anybody ever said that to me, even the weddings I shoot, they're like, great. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm like, thank you.
One thing you said about editing was how, like, when you edit like music or stuff like that, you can't listen to it too much because it gets so
earworm, bro.
That's how I feel with the podcast sometimes. Yeah. It's like it's on some Johnny Depp shit where like, he's in the movie, so he doesn't watch the movie afterwards. It's like, I'll watch the podcast back to, pull clips or something like that, but I'm not sitting there, like, just oh, I want to listen to it. Like, that's for, like, the people to listen to.
Yeah.
I already made this shit, so I know what I said and what I
It's
did.
like that rapping, too.
Exactly.
Yeah,
on to the next one.
Right,
know?
that's it. On to the next one, somebody call the waitress.
For me, it happens too with
Shout out Dese.
engineering, right? So
Yeah.
when I'm mixing down tracks and I have to like put reverb and delay on this one little part, and I'm hearing this rapper go da 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 da, and my wife's like because I work from home sometimes. I have a studio, but Dese is the best person to do engineering for, because when you're editing that one line, it's a punchline and it's hilarious.
Yeah.
And it's like you're listening to funny stuff. And Lightfoot, he used to do all my editing, my mixing and mastering, right? And I used to send him projects with Dese, blah blah blah, whatever. And he's like, yo, he's my favorite person to engineer for, because every line I'm gonna be laughing. It's enjoyable. Like he wants to crack a beer and laugh.
Who done it? I like. That's why I enjoyed it so much, because like obviously you're a North Shore guy, so is Lonetree, so it's like I can relate to just being from that area, but hearing the stuff y'all are rapping about, and like it's almost like I'm in the rap, in a way, because it's like, you know what I mean? It's we're North Shore people, we do construction, go to work, have some roast beef and shit like that. Like we're simple folk, kind of like that.
Yeah. And that was all very comfortable too. We recorded that in 6 sessions at my crib in Dorchester in the triple decker. Wow. And
6 sessions.
Yo, bro, they would come by, knock out 3 or 4 joints a week. We scrapped 4 joints, and I still want to release one of them. It's hilarious, but I don't think Oak wants to, but I might. But yeah, no, we did that, and it was very comfortable. It's in my crib. My wife might be making food. Me and Dese are smoking joints in the back, and
know what I mean?
we respect Oak. We don't want to, he's doing the sober thing, so I'm more than happy for him. Man changed his life, and I love Oak. That's my brother.
Yeah, I'm a big on anybody just being in sobriety, because it's like, not that I had a problem with weed and shit like that, but like I knew that, like, my time was like up with it, where I can't. I'm like, I ain't that college kid anymore. That, I can do 6 joints in a day. Yeah, I could do probably 2 now, if that, and that's like
still
and
good.
Right? I was good, but it's like it is what it is forever for me. Especially like the drinking and shit like that. So I respect any like guy who can just, or woman, anybody who. Because I know I've known addicts.
It's tough.
It really is. It really is. It's just like,
bro, I can't imagine.
I can't say because I've been through it, but like I've seen people like go through it.
Yeah,
so
and he's at shows performing. There's a bar there, but he's good though. Like I mean, he'll be the first person to tell you one day at a time. And he makes me really respect that, because like to see him move how he moves, but then he'll come to my lab and he never says a thing. Like he might joke every once in a while if I'm like really into a mix and he said something. He's like, is it the weed or is it the mix? Every once in a while it makes a joke, but
now he's locked in like that.
That's yeah. Because he comes to my crib. Well, used to. Right now, things have been kind of crazy for me, but he was coming to my crib for every week for like 2 years. And then it turned into, we got to do the Dunnas album. And then I went to Loman. He was at Index one day, and I basically shook him down for some beats, because he was going through like 3 or 4 projects. He's like, I don't have beats for you right now. I was like, I know you got beats. Yeah. He's like, all right, here's 10. I gave him 10, and then we made 3 co-productions, and then that was the album. Loman was there for one of the sessions at my crib, but I was recording it, and we sent it to Lightfoot. And it was the same thing, you know what I mean? Like I said, he's engineering it, and he's like, yo, line after line, bro. It's just funny. You know what I mean? That was a really fun project.
That's what's up.
Go cop that vinyl.
100%. I got mine.
Oh, hell yeah. He earned that one.
Yeah, I did earn that. I earned that one. I'll say why later, but
he earned that one.
So, Dese.
Pause.
Hey, take it back one time. You're literally like the definition of like an OG. Like if I could picture like the OG, it's you. So like, how have you been able to maintain like your legacy in this rap game for like almost
and get better
years? And get better, exactly.
I don't know how I maintain it. I don't know. I always like the rhyming comes first to me. Like I suck at like marketing my shit, but like if I show up and we're like, I'm very competitive from playing sports when I was young. Now, I ain't fucking playing sports like I used to, so now it's the rap. So like any safe I'm in, I'm trying.
Maybe competitive eating.
Hey, come on.
I do pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I keep the sword sharp. You know.
That's what's up, because a lot of people like get worse over time, but you don't. You've been able to
you
just
try to outdo your last rhyme. You know
exactly.
I mean?
And I feel like people get so caught up in that, but when I hear your music, it's like it just comes so naturally to you. So like taking it back like 20 years when you first started to, you know, decide to rap, what was that like for you? Especially being in these competitive tournaments for rapping.
Yeah, years ago it was definitely like all the freestyle battles, you know. Like I saw the Blaze battle. That was the first battle I saw. Like I don't know if you remember that.
Nah.
But Idea won it. This dude Idea won it.
That was like late 90s.
That was before 8 Mile. Like KRS-One actually.
That was like late 90s, right?
Yeah, probably.
I was born in 92, so
I'm 97.
Yeah,
so
you're probably like 7 years.
Yeah,
I'm 97, so I may have just been popping out. Like,
yeah, right.
So once I saw that, I was like, "That's fucking awesome!" Like making fun of, I loved it. So I was like, "All right." I started battling, and then actually, this dude, shout out to Etc. He beat me in a battle, and then I went to UMass Amherst. So
oh really?
I battled him all at
so
UMass Amherst. So I did good in the battle, but he beat me he ended up winning the battle, and then a couple months later there was a Guru show at Pearl Street, and there was an open mic before, and I ended up battling him in the open mic, and I won that one. So we were 1-1. So then we ended up like hanging out and fucking. So we were at UMass. We were like fucking 2 hours every day, like smoking blunts and freestyling and eating calzones, and just it was like
sounds like the life.
It's like I wasn't even learning like school, but it was like rapping school, like fucking just every fucking day, throwing each other words,
right?
You know,
especially at that college, because that's like, I mean, if you're from Massachusetts, you know that's the party school.
That was the time of my life. I knew it too. Like I was doing the job I'm doing now, because it's a family business too. Of course. I was doing that job in the summer and the winter breaks, and in my head I'm like, you know what? I was like, when I was at the school, I'm like, this is probably gonna be the best time of my life.
It is.
I knew it. Yeah. And then
like it blows my mind that I'm already 4 years out of college. Like I can't even believe that. I feel
that's young though.
I know. No, I feel. I think that's the thing too, because like even talk with Jeff Porter about it, because he's been out of college for a while. So
he's my age.
My man Mike Scarfo over here too, and I'm like, that is actually my problem, because I think everybody's the same age as me. When I went up to Jeff, I'm like, yo, you like 24? He's like, nah. I'm like, I'm almost 30. I'm like, what? I'm like, you don't look anything like that.
I have that issue too, where like I look older and I'm 31, but like people always think I'm like Oak's age, Dese's age, but then every once in a while they're like, oh yeah, you're like 10 years younger than us and blah blah blah, but we don't feel that, you know what I mean? We're like, it's a brotherhood, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I feel that too, just even like the music that I like I don't even like any of this new school stuff. Like today I was listening to the Bee Gees all day, and I didn't even see any of them. I think 2 of them died by the time I was even born.
I still rock some Bee
and my
Gees.
mom always says like, oh, you're an old soul, this, that, and the other thing. And it's like I do take some pride in that, but it's like I don't want to sound like I'm freaking like 60, like get off my freaking lawn, you dang kids, and shit like that. Like
real quick, when I was a kid, I'll admit, here's a moment of growth. Cool. I was a kid, and this chick that I was trying to get with was like, oh man, Lil Wayne's so hot, and I'm like, fuck this dude. And I like didn't hate him because of that. I just didn't go out of my way to bump his shit. But then 2 or 3 months later, he went on the most incredible run, one of the most incredible runs in rap history, and I was, how could I not be a fan at that point? You know what I mean? I'm talking about like everything that was going on with him, and it was one of those moments I was like, damn, was I really just like 14 years old being the old man yelling at the sky? And from that moment, even when trap or drill started coming out, and I've always had a lot of older homies that are like, I don't fuck with that shit. I'm like, bro, that sucks.
Yeah, it really does.
That sucks for you.
You missing out.
Yeah, like there's some good shit there. There's not not everything's good. Even with the boom bap shit, bro, 90% of it's trash. Right. You're gonna find some good stuff here and there, but like there's just too many people with access to a fucking microphone at that point. You know what I mean? Like, so you got to have the quality control. But yeah, man, definitely those moment of growths of like, yo.
I relate to that too, because so when I first got on Facebook, I hated Justin Bieber. Like, if you like, that's why I disabled Facebook memories, because I don't want to see any of my cringy shit from when I was hating on Justin Bieber, because I hated him. Yeah. I don't know why. But again, I grew up and I like him. But my biggest regret was not getting really hip to Mac Miller till like 2016, 2017, and that was like almost a year before his death. So that kind of like messed me up, because I went back and listened to stuff I was stingy about and I ended up liking it. So it's like, all right, was I just hating because he was a white guy rapping it and I wanted to be like him?
Bro, everybody I knew,
like, you know what I mean?
Everybody I knew in Boston was like that until it was after the kids tape. It was I forget which particular. I think it was Nikes on My Feet.
Yeah,
that's when
that got a lot of people.
Everybody was like, all right, because bro, white rappers in Boston. I'm sure this is like this in a lot of different places, but there's only so many dope ones. So like, Dese has never been this way.
We got a dope one right here,
I've never gotten this vibe from him. But like, when I would know dudes who were white rappers back in the day, even myself, we like, you see another white rapper walk in the room, you're almost not cool with them.
Right? No, you think it's like some competition type.
Yeah,
no, 100%.
And then people are like, oh, the two white boys, blah blah blah, and it's like, dog, like, I'm probably gonna watch this dude. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I probably would have got washed. I was very confident. You know what I mean?
No. When I was doing those little like goofy SoundCloud raps, I was overly confident. Like, But I look back, I'm like,
same thing with Mac Miller. I never necessarily hated on him, but it was one of those things of like, oh, it's another white rapper. I don't know, but then he just like, Nikes on My Feet. I was like, bro, this dude's incredible.
Nah, he really gained like my respect.
And then the musical journey that he went on was insane. And then the Larry Fisherman, production work is some of my favorite stuff, just because it was bugged out. And
who I never felt that way about? Action.
Bronson, bro.
Because Bronson just like...
Shout out Chef Bogey. He put me on. He was 100%. Like, y'all like Ghostface and y'all like all this other... Y'all ain't pumping Action Bronson? And I think FSU like messed up one of his shows at the Middle East, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was Slain and Bronson. Wow. And FSU went in there and just fucked up everybody. Wow. I'm talking about the FSU, like the fuck shit up guys. They're like all sober, but they like go 30 deep and they just like jump people. If I'm not mistaken, something happened. I remember Bogey telling me something happened at the Middle East, but he was like, you got to go to this show because this is the first show that they're allowed back into, and it was like insane. And then Bronson's in my time. I got the Bronson's on, but literally, manifest this, bro. Yeah. I'm working with Bronson.
100%.
I don't even care about winning a Grammy.
And he stepped in the ring.
Oh, yeah.
He was like, I was there for that.
Bro.
As I was telling you, and as the audience will come to find out, me and Chow are big wrestling fans. AEW, it was the Grand Slam, then they had Rampage after, and we're like, all right, the only guy we want to see is Bronson. So, like, we're like, oh, I hope we don't main event, because then we got to get back from Queens to Manhattan at freaking, like, 1 a.m., and it's just like, let's not. So the minute Bronson's match ended, we were out there, but, thank God I saw him, because that's, I wanted to see that so bad.
Yeah, I mean, he's funny. Creative.
Nah, he's one of the coolest guys like that. I think I know, but I don't know.
But I was gonna say you
live
feel like you know him
because
he's bigger than his personality is bigger than life, and that he's one of those dudes that like once he transcended music and started getting Viacom checks, that's where I started seeing myself that in myself, and I'm not saying directly comparing my path to his, but I'm like, yo, man, I might want to start doing movies, and I direct and I do short films and stuff like that with music videos here and there. Not everything's gonna be a short film, but Bronson, one of those guys, he really inspires me. And then when he started doing like the spiritual journey, you know what I mean? Started, getting all the crazy tattoos. I'm like, I fuck with that.
Yeah. He got the head tats like Batman Bigelow and type shit.
Like once I get bread, once I'm getting Viacom checks and shit like that,
that's coming soon.
I might look like Lizard Man. I'm playing, but
why not? Yeah. Hey, why not? I mean, the whole reason he started cooking was to bang more broads anyway. Yeah. So it's like, why not? Like, you know what I mean? And he ended up turning his cooking show into one of the most iconic cooking shows ever. So
yeah, and also, I love anybody who's an entrepreneur, and then him being able to take that and then still run it, and make it successful, self-funded, bro. Salute, dog. Yeah. But yeah.
So as we mentioned before, obviously, Dunnit came out. What was it? It was last year or 2 years ago? It's going on 2 years.
It was last year in April.
It was last year in April. All right, word. So still almost coming up on the year anniversary. How did you meet Lonetree, Dese?
I was in an old group before even the camp because I was the dude etc. that I battled. So we were in E3 with Skip Whitman, and actually that's when I met Oak. He came over to do a track, and me and Oak just hit it off. Like we were like the same person. They just like to eat burritos and
honestly,
smoke,
I thought y'all were related until y'all were just.
Now you know what it is too. Oak always says it. They write quick. Like this dude will write his verse in 10 minutes, and it's gonna be crazy. Oak will have his verse done in 5 minutes.
Oak's quicker than I am.
Yeah. Bro, and like he'll have his verse done in 5 minutes, and then be like, "Here's the alley oop to Dese." Dese has his verse done. They lay it.
I'll have my verse. Oak will have the verse and the hook.
Yo, so when we did the Dunnit sessions, bro, like I said, it was 6 sessions. Probably did 3 or 4 tracks a session. Dog, they were all 3-hour sessions. It was nothing crazy, you know what I mean? Like we're hanging out, like blah blah blah.
No, but that really speaks to how quality the album is. But hearing like how it took you short amount of time, it's like we're dealing with like LeBron and freaking D Wade.
Yeah, no, for real. Like working with these dudes are incredible. Also, my favorite client's an engineer, because this dude, if he doesn't do it in one take, he gets mad a little bit. You see it in his face. He just goes in there and he's like, boom.
Oh, like the Madonna album, I think I did the thing in one night. Like,
oh, yeah,
I had it written, but like I did, what was it, seven songs?
He did that shit in like 2.5 hours.
7 songs in 2 hours, yeah.
Yeah, maybe 2.5, but like it was one of those situations where we're going out to smoke, we're having pizza, and he's like laying.
I try to make the most of my time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, hey, listen, time's a precious thing.
I don't like to leave the house, so when I do, I gotta get shit done.
Right.
You know what? You know what took the most amount of time was loading the songs on the Spire. If now I'm in Ableton, but like literally it would take 5 minutes to put the song on the Spire, load it up.
I feel like that's with like anything, like, you know, if you're that good like yourself and you knock the songs out quick, the thing that's gonna take the longest time is actually getting the songs
the nuts
on the
and bolts of it.
Yeah. I gotta ask, how long did the Neanderthal of Faneuil Hall take? As a person who's been in Faneuil Hall for like 10 plus years.
That
now.
album actually it probably took the longest.
Really?
Not like I wrote it before. Like he'd give me the beats, I write it.
Yeah.
But what happened was, shout out to Hunk Rock. I recorded it at his spot first, and it just didn't sound right. You know, like the engineering was like off, so I had to bring that to another studio and redo it. That's the first shit I ever redone.
Right, yeah.
It was worth it.
He does not like redoing
That's my
shit.
best cover right there.
I know, 100%.
Oh, yeah, totally.
100%, because literally I walk in that safe space every single fucking day. Like it's one of those things where I do gotta get out of there, but you know the family biz is there, so
that same artist,
part of me.
That same artist actually did the cover for me and Oak's next joint. So yeah, we'll talk about that a little later. Yeah, hell yeah.
So I wanted to ask one quick question about Who Done It, because I'm curious. The vinyls, right? A lot of people aren't doing physical media anymore. Like I got blessed with 2 of these. I'm gonna take these home and add them to the collection. And we had talked about on the train here, you know, lost media is one of the worst things ever.
Yeah.
So for making the vinyls for Who Done It, like, do you just go to some like vinyl like maker and be like, hey, we want to do this, and then they give you a set amount you can do, or like, because how does that process? Because I'm always so curious.
Yeah. So
when independent artists and, you know, not even small, I won't call them small time, but like, you know,
the
locals are
indie
dropping.
Indie doesn't mean not big, because you can have an independent wrestler like, you know, Daniel Bryan.
Oh, exactly.
You know, or Brian Danielson can go independent and he'd still make. You know what I mean? He'd still make $500,000 a year. But it's one of those situations where. Shout out to Vinyl Index, man, because, you know, I was working with them for a while, and I was just kind of telling them, like, yo, I got a really dope record. Like, would y'all want to press this? They listened to it once and was like, yes. So, you know, they pressed it. And, you know, we have a deal with that. But the majority of the time, an artist is going to probably press it themselves. And it's the same thing as if you ordered CDs. But vinyl is expensive as all hell. So, like, you know, not to put my plugs numbers out there, nothing like that. But, you know, you're gonna want to do like 200 or 300. If you do only 100, it's like there's the gas fee or like the startup fee so much just to get the get it pressed, or you want to get your dub plate pressed, so that way you can make you know, you have like a mother that makes copies, and then if you're really fancy, you have a father who can make mothers, and the mother makes copies, and then that's some crazy, like Taylor Swift would have a father record. You know, most people who are pressing, you know, 1,000 or less aren't getting.
And these father and mother, they're like machines, right?
No, they're like almost like the template for what's going to be pressed.
Oh, okay.
So it's like the like people would say like your dubs or your dub plates, and that's what it's like. What is pressed? Like that's the sound. So vinyl is little grooves, and that's how the sound is made. So it's the actual like what's going to be pressed into it. So every single time you just have some black pellets, blah blah blah. They crush them down and then make vinyl. But vinyl is probably the coolest shit, because, you know, it obviously has a different sound, and not everybody is going to agree on that. Some people are going to be like, it sounds better. Some people are going to like, it sounds just like vinyl. It doesn't actually sound better. It has a warmer sound, in my opinion, but not a lot of people know how to prep their music for vinyl. So you're going to have, like, you can't press just anything on vinyl. You can't press, like, crazy bass joints on vinyl, because there's only so much actual, like, capacity for the sound to be there. So, you know, the less music you put on a side, the better it's going to sound. You know what I mean?
This is so interesting. Just learn. Like,
Thank God I got him.
Right, you know what I mean? It's like, because I would have never even guessed like the stuff of that. Because
I nerd out on all that stuff, and like that's probably why they keep me around, not just because I could do
none of this.
No, absolutely not. Like if someone came up to me, it's like, hey, can we make some vinyl season? I'm like, sure. I don't fucking know. Like you. No, like I don't know.
I want to take a big shout out for my wife, because she puts up with all my nerditry. I'm talking about, like, I don't live a normal life.
No.
I work crazy hours. I mean, for myself, but like, I don't really take enough time to like be a person sometimes, and she'll just listen to me, be like, "Yo, the A93's coming out next week at $6,000, but it's got a global shut," and I'll go off.
Yeah.
Like I have ADHD crazy, and I'll just go down these rabbit holes, and then she'll also watch me watch a Final Fantasy VII analysis for 5 hours. You know what I mean?
So you like them games like that?
Oh
okay,
yeah,
Chow,
no,
all right,
I get super into like any I
do that shit too.
We could also talk X Games '99. We could talk wrestling. Okay. We could. I like all that stuff. Like the when I say nerdy, not a Poindexter with glasses. Hey, maybe, and that's nothing against him. He might know some stuff that I don't know that I want to know. But
I feel like with anything you like, you nerd out with. Like, even if it's like the things people now even may associate with like a nerd.
Yeah.
Like rap. Like
Lil Fame said it the best. He called in actually. For those who don't know, I ran a radio show 2014 to 2018, Overdog Radio, and that was one of the best times of my life, and that's where I met a lot of these homies. But Lil Fame called in, and he was like, "I was a nerd. All I cared about was music. Dudes talk about sports, blah 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 blah, all this," and I related to that so much, because I was like, "Yo." I stopped watching sports probably 2010, 2011. I just didn't have the headspace for it, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I don't follow anything. Wrestling I follow now because my wife's into it, but if she wasn't, I probably wouldn't follow it as much. But it's one of those things of like, I only have so much capacity as a person, and like, I've actually gotten not so great with communication over the years because all I care about is the mission, and that's why another reason why they keep me around. You know what I mean?
And I feel that 100% because like we said, I'm a huge wrestling fan. I've been since I walked in on my dad watching JBL versus The Undertaker, and JBL had that big ass headpiece on. Like, I remember it like it was yesterday. Like, I was so like enthralled that the next day when we went to the community pool, I was like, what was that? And so then leading up to that, he takes me to the Road to WrestleMania 21 house show at the Agganis Arena. And I looked up that card the other week, and two things were funny. So Edge got pissed he lost. He takes some dude's sign, rips it in front, and I'm a little kid. I'm like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah, you never know, right?
And freaking Ric Flair's old, he wasn't decrepit at that point. He was slowly getting on his way out.
He always looked ancient to me, though.
I think it was a steel cage match.
I'm a big Ric Flair fan, but
it was Triple H and Ric Flair versus Randy Orton Batista, so Evolution match in a steel cage. And something happened that Ric Flair got like out of the cage, and as he's getting helped to the back, his freaking trunks come down, you see his ass.
Oh.
And the spotlight's on his ass. I'm like, and I'm like laughing.
Sounds
I'm
like Ric Flair.
What the fuck is that shit? The other thing, but like learning about that stuff is so cool.
Oh yeah.
Because as you get older, and obviously it's not real, but like that's what I think. What's even cool about it is
it's real, but it's scripted.
You don't give a shit.
Yeah.
You don't care. Okay, it's TV. I can watch Disney Plus and there's all scripted shit on there.
Yeah,
Ain't no
it's
difference.
just entertainment.
And Rick Rubin said it best.
He watches 7 hours a week of professional wrestling.
And he said professional wrestling does real life better than real life does.
Mick Foley had a thing too that was talking about wrestling's realer than real life because at least it's an act.
Right.
But then all this other stuff that you're getting got on the daily, you don't know is an act.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I totally agree with that.
100%. And because you shoot beyond and stuff like that. We talked about
I actually do that straight out of passion, bro.
Right.
Like, I love anybody who's going to chase their dreams. Like, the same way, homie Dese, homie Oak, these dudes chase their dreams, bro. Like, I'm in a car with them driving Rap Is Out of Control. They're freestyling with DJ Eclipse. This is stuff this is bucket list stuff for us. You know what I mean? These dudes chase their dreams in the same way I know that some of these indie dudes, especially with wrestling, you might crack your neck at any time. And they're doing it for, I know what they get paid. Like, I'm cool with a lot of them. And it's like, bro, I just show up I shoot because also I could use those as portfolio shots. You know what I mean? I have some artistic joints that like, even some of the dudes who've been shooting for years, I never thought to use that shot. Like, one's like between the turnbuckles, and I always have wrestlers being like, "Yo, this is one of my favorite shots of me," and I was like, "Word, peace," you know what I mean?
So how is like, because I know how it's impacted me, but like in your work, how has it like kind of like impacted you? Especially, you and your wife watch. I think that's fucking dope. Like, the conversation me and your wife had a big business last week.
Oh yeah.
I was like, that's what's up.
Exactly. She's a mark.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I'll say this about being a mark with wrestling.
I am too, though.
I am too.
Yeah.
But it's like there's levels to markness.
Yeah, I'm not the mark that
I'm not the high, Cody mark where I'm gonna be
I'm not wearing
if he wins, we win, that type of thing.
I'm not wearing the American Nightmare Walmart shirt. That's not me.
I'm
a Cody fan, but
the only guy I can say I'll mark out for right now is Ospreay. But
me too.
But that's
and LA Knight.
But that, of course.
And MJF.
Let me talk to you. You know what I'm saying? Right? Let me talk to you. Yeah. But that's only because I like them so much that like their gimmick is enthralling.
Oh yeah,
what I mean, or their whole personality is enthralling. But it's like I'm not gonna make them my fucking profile picture on Twitter
totally
and shit like that.
Well, Sean Ospreay. Wow, Will Ospreay reminds me of my best friend Sean Stees. When I say that, like, just the bar fights we've been in together, like stupid stuff, like growing up,
APA
and then like
shit.
like brothers, like dude slams a door in my face, this dude throws him out, Tom English's, and we're having a bar fight on Dot Ave, like crazy, like Dorchester stories that thankfully we didn't get arrested for, but he reminds me of him, same energy. But the thing about wrestling was like, for me, I watched it religiously as a kid, like religiously with my father. Stone Cold was like my GOAT, still is. I actually watched Stone Cold entrances before my big shoots. Like if I have a wedding for like,
Yeah, if I'm getting in the gym, I'm putting on a wrestling thing.
If I got a 4-figure shoot.
Are you kidding me? I'm pretending like it's the Royal Rumble.
Like,
I count down in my head to 3 and I'm just fucking,
hear the glass shatter.
Like, that type of shit.
I don't care if you think it's corny.
Fucking, like Stone Cold, like talking to yourself type of shit.
I do the badass, I do the walk and everything,
100%,
bro.
You
and
got
I walk in like, hey, it's Chow Films. I'm here to shoot your wedding. But Nah. So like, West Side Gun obviously brought it back to the forefront. But me and my homie OTO, shout out my brother Overtime Often, and Chef Bogey too. Like I said, with Bronson had all the Barry Horowitz was the first song I ever heard from him.
Really?
Got my bat on myself on the back. But with wrestling, West Side made it cool again. And then my boy OTO came over one night and we were working on a song, and I knew he was a wrestling head, right? And I was like, yo, I feel like sampling some wrestling shit. So I sampled, No Chance in Hell, one of my favorite songs ever, Vince McMahon, even though he's a scumbag. But
hey, the man had a gas station.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Jim Johnston's one of my favorite musicians of all time. I think he's a genius.
I had the Pandora radio station.
That's fine.
Yeah. You know how I used to make radio stations?
I know what you're talking about.
Me and my boy Sean had the Pandora station.
Jim Johnston is the man, bro. Yeah. But we did the joint, right? So he comes over, and we're doing a song, and I started sampling it, and I was like, fuck it. Sarah, you never watched wrestling in your life. Come on in. First match we throw on, Chris Benoit versus Eddie Guerrero, WCW. I think it was 97 or 98 or something like that. Ooh. This is a clinic, bro. She's like, my wife who's never watched wrestling, I'm hoping she doesn't think I'm a nerd, right? I'm already married, but she's like, can we watch another one?
Yeah.
Like she had a rush.
Yeah.
I think she did a bump and some shit, right? Like she's like, yo, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And that's how it happened. You know what I mean? And
that's what's up, because
shout out to OTO, bro. That's my brother.
And it's good that like you put on like a legit like mat technician match. Mm-hmm. Like it wasn't some like goofy gimmick match that got someone. I
gotta plug the song too. Yeah. Heal Life. That's on Technodrome. Chairman Chow, OTO. One of my favorite songs I've ever done. He does a scheme with all the wrestlers and all that stuff. But it just, bro, from that moment I got back into wrestling. AEW was a big part of it. Because WWE, week to week is kind of trash, but even AEW is not perfect. But
I'll take it over this WWE product. And I got to say this about AEW, and I'm thankful it came along, because from like 2010 to like 20 to the draft in 2016, where it was in Worcester that I went to when they first brought back the draft with Shane and Stephanie. That was horrible. Like there was just nothing good in there. And then it got good. It got good till like the tail end of 2017. And then from there to 2019, it was nothing. Then AEW comes around, and it's fucking. It brought me back again.
The only thing is, last thing I'm gonna say about it is, I wish I was going to Beyond Wrestling at that time, because before AEW signed up all the big guys, you would see people like 6'8" guys like in an independent wrestling match. You don't really have that anymore. AEW bought up a lot of the talent. Yeah. WWE just went after anybody who was big after that, because they lost a lot of the talent. But
and they're doing that next in line shit too.
Oh yeah,
they're just getting college athletes and stuff.
Yeah,
it's like
wild.
That's literally like 10% hit rate. But
And my man,
anyways.
my man Shawn Michaels too. You know.
Right, exactly. Hey, he's a little freak with it. You know what I'm
Shawn
saying?
Michaels.
But
anyways,
so this new track, I should say tracks. This new EP y'all got coming out. I actually heard it. It's excellent. It's a nice
appreciate that.
5-track EP.
Yes, sir.
Very consumable. What can people expect from it when you guys drop it?
I mean, honestly, yo, Who Dunnit was 3 years old when we dropped it, right? It was one of those things we just didn't know what to do with it. These songs are from the same time period.
Okay.
So if you liked Who Dunnit, you're going to love this. A lot of artists, they move on and they start doing a new style or whatever it may be. It's very interesting because when you hear Dese's music with like a Mike Martinez or like a Hunk Rock or anybody else who isn't me, he goes in a whole different direction. I don't even know if he consciously knows that. I've never brought it up to him until now. With me,
I think
I was gonna say, what you think?
I think he got a little more of a grimy sound. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's what it is. He does a lot less hooks.
Yeah, right. Kind of just spitting. You know what I mean? Like just bar shit. And,
yeah. Also,
I feel like Martinez, Hunk Rock, like they got a lot of double time beats. So I'm rapping a little faster.
Yeah.
Also, you know what it is? I don't really like structure my beats. I just make loops for the most part. I will here and there. He might even throw something like a hook on something that is just a loop. But when Dese works with a lot of other people, he's making like full songs. With me, and I actually kind of prefer what we do. Every once in a while, he makes a full song. We'll have like a hook, I'll have a concept, blah, blah, blah. But like I like the rapid fire bars that he does on my shit, because then I'm going to sequence it and, I'm going to do an ill transition in the middle, blah, blah, blah. And it's almost like a high where you're like constantly going. Like it'd be like a 20-minute experience of like bar after bar after bar, dope beat, might put a little interlude, something like that. So this project, More Mozzarella, is the working title. We're probably gonna go with that. It's just nothing's final until it drops.
Right.
But we did the Fresh Mozzarella, which was a reference to a series that me and Oak have going called Feta. We did Feta, more Feta.
Y'all about the cheese, damn.
He's Greek, so he got the Greek cheese.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, then we got Big Feta dropping 2 months from now. But yeah, so the focus right now with me and Dese, even though he just dropped 2 projects, last week?
Yeah,
with Mike.
Yeah.
He's got mad projects, bro. Like with Mike, I think he's already dropped 6.
Like 4 more too.
Yeah.
Shout out Mike Martinez.
He doesn't stop. You know what I mean?
No, see, that's the good thing about you, Dese. You got all this quality still in the vault that if it comes out, it's gonna be good. Because I feel like a lot of people, or at least a lot of rappers, they feel like they have to keep dropping, but they don't think about it if it's good or not. They just want to get it out there.
The quality control is
not
not
there.
there.
is that you got the quality control. If you put out, even if it's like a 5-track EP, where it's at most half hour, 20 minutes, it's still consumable, but it's consumable to the point where people are gonna still go back and listen to it because it's that good.
Yeah. Also, I've dropped. So I started producing. I got my first sampler / beat machine March 16th, 2019, 316 days.
Hey, there you go. That just passed too.
Yo, so it's been 5 years, and I was supposed to drop a tape that night called 5-Year Plan, which is all remixes of like Mock Homie joints. Please, Mock, don't sue me. Hit me up to work because it's fire. Yeah, that's the only reason I'm dropping it. I'm a big Mock Homie fan, and I know he's hit people with cease and desist and all that other shit. But if you hit me with the cease and desist, at least I know you heard it. Right. But no, it's one of those things of like, yo, I've dropped so many times. I think I've dropped 37 times, and like not everybody knows that, but because I would do a lot of Bandcamp drops, and when you put the paywall up on Bandcamp, I made bread. Like I made some good money on Bandcamp, but like it was one of those things of not everybody's gonna bump it, and then when it drops next week after, they're like, oh, it's already out. I'm on to the next thing. So
it's kind of like that double-edged sword where
it is like
if they didn't buy it, it's out there, but the people that did buy it, they probably
we would see what's worth 100,000 streams in 4 days off sales, but like at the same time, 100,000 streams that's a lot of people who could have bought my merch. Right. A lot of people who could have came to the show or established
if that
whatever.
Was $1 each. You're making 6 figures.
Yeah,
that way,
exactly.
What I
mean? But it's that balance. But now with the More Mozzarella, if you're a Chairman Chow fan, you've noticed my output has been decreasing as far as projects released. I'm still doing a lot of work, but it's a lot of video stuff. So now when I drop, it really has to be crazy. Yeah, I just won't drop it. So More Mozzarella to me is probably my favorite album that I've done.
That's what's up.
Not only because Dese goes off, But the mixing that I've been on, the transitions, some of the drops and stuff like that that I put on there, just because he's got a bar every bar.
Yeah.
So I have to be really careful. If not, it's gonna be no beat.
Right.
If I do a drop for every time he has a punchline, there's no fucking beat. You know what I mean?
That's what's up. So, do you just love all of it? Like,
I love it, man.
And the the videography and stuff like that, because it seems like you do. And I think from experience, I can tell you do.
Totally. I mean, as soon as I was able to find a point where, like, there was an agreement with me and the homies, and it's like, I'm going to bet everything in my existence on this. They all have jobs. Like, and I'm over here like, yo, also my wife's going to feel this if I fuck up. If I don't make enough money, my dog's going to be missing his kibble. He don't eat kibble. He eats raw food, but, like,
it's better for him.
Exactly. Like, if not, my wife, I can't bring her out on a date, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. I expressed that to everybody around me, and they treated me with the same respect that I gave myself, and that was what allowed me to be full-time with it. And then also, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I've done a lot of shit I didn't think I'd be doing right now, but
because I feel like, and people still have to get over this, where if you tell somebody from an older generation that that's what you do, you're like, okay, but what's your real job?
The whole real job thing
is crazy to me. I wrote a paper about it freshman year of college. I'm like, what is a real job anyways? Like, if I wanted to drop out of college and pursue rap, whatever, that's my real job. That, because as long as there's money coming in, I mean, if you're a drug dealer, maybe that's one thing or the other. But like, but like, if you're literally making a conscious effort to produce something creative and to contribute to like the zeitgeist, that's a real job.
Bro, I'll be real with you. When I was in the corporate world and I was, doing other things, I would go to the coffee shop every once in a while. And then I remember seeing who I got really cool with. It was one of the people who were, she's sweeping the floor. She happened to be the manager at a Starbucks, and she was getting $80,000 a year. And this one lady was like, "You need to get a real job," and she was going to CVS. And I was like, not saying you can't make more than $80,000 at a CVS, but I've applied there before. They're not paying you that out the gate. No. So you're telling somebody who's making more money than you to get a real fucking job because you don't think that somebody who's serving you a cup of coffee is a real job. Anything is a job, bro.
Right, that's it.
Bro, even people who fucking beg for money on the corner, there's people who are better than the other ones. That's their job. Whether or not they have mental health issues.
That's a good point.
Whether or not they have mental health issues or anything that prevents them from getting it, to the bag or whatever it is. Like, my dad worked in homeless shelters for fucking 20 years. Like, I'm not going to judge anybody. I'm just going to be like, yo, I might not have it if I don't give you the $5 or the $1, but, that's a job, bro. Right, if they're going to spend all fucking day begging on the corner, that's a job.
And that's a big dignity thing, too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially being on the
You never know where
like
someone's at if they're going to ask for that shit,
right,
bro.
Exactly. And I'm glad you said that, because that's a great way of putting at it, because I can be ignorant like that sometimes. But I'm glad that, like, I was able to hear that from you and from that perspective. So.
Well, I'll be real, dude. So with the whole, like, real job thing, I've definitely, like, it's funny because, I'll go shoot shit where somebody owns the building and they look at me sometimes. They're like, oh, you're the video guy. We got to take care of you. And then the people who are, like, working staff get treated like shit. And that doesn't make me feel good.
Nah, right.
It's just because you're only seeing me for this one time. You're hiring me. But then the people who are cleaning the floor and making sure things can happen, but, let's get back to the music, though.
Right. No, and I got to say one more thing about the real job shit. I have this funny-ass story. So, as I've mentioned, I've been at Faneuil Hall for a very long time. I was like, all right, I got to get out of there. So I'm doing the LinkedIn shit where I'm applying, Indeed, applying. I get this lead on a place in Southie, and it was a marketing thing. So I'm like, all right, I'll be in an office, whatever, this, that, and the other thing. It's cool. So I go in. It's 2-round interviews. First round goes well. I'm all corporate and stuff like that. Yep. I dropped the repeat for a day and stuff like that. Like, that type of thing.
That's when you get chucked, not Chairman Chow.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Got the call thing, the clip back here and stuff like that. So I'm like, all right, yeah, whatever. It goes well. I was one of 4 people they brought back for the second interview. So second round, they're like, all right, we can interview for an hour, or you can shadow a day. And I'm like, I'll do an interview for an hour, like, because if I'm going a whole day, I would like to get paid, and because I'm already missing a day of work, even if it's down Faneuil Hall. So it's like. So I like to do, an hour thing. And I know I told them that. So I go in. They're like, oh, you're going to be shadowing this guy. I'm like, fuck you, like that type of thing. It's like
totally
I didn't say it, but I'm
you,
like, it's just roll with the punches type thing. So I'm like, so we leave the office, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, why are we leaving the office? This is not what the job entailed and shit like that. So we're like, oh, we're gonna go to the the job site location. I'm like, this ain't like construction and shit like that. What is this? So it ends up being at the Braintree Mall of all places, one of the worst malls in the state.
South Shore.
Yeah.
You're talking about what is it called?
Yeah, it's a Braintree Mall.
Nah, what South Shore Plaza?
Yes. Yeah. No. Yeah. No, because I'm thinking of South Bay. So yes, you're right. Yeah.
South Shore Plaza.
Yeah, South Shore Plaza. Yes. So we go out to there. I'm like, all right, is there gonna be like, I was thinking like a conference room or shit like that, or something like that. So we fucking go up the escalator, right? We go to this desk. The job ended up being those guys are like, hey, let me talk to you for a second, stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, this is so embarrassing. I got in the desk. I was like,
so you probably went to a temp agency and they were like, let's walk you down.
But the crazy thing was with the job application, they didn't structure it like that. So I'm like,
yeah, because you scare people off.
I'm 2 hours in. I tried to do it. I couldn't get a word out. Some guy immediately was like, no, I didn't even say anything to him. He was like, no. I'm like, I ain't putting up with this. So they're like 2 hours in. Do you like it? I'm like, no, I don't. So I was pissed. I immediately flipped back. I literally went and I took off my sweater and everything. I lit up a joint. I was like, called my friend because he lives in the South Shore. He came to me like, I go, you motherfucker, you won't believe this shit right now. Like, I'm so fucking pissed like about this shit. So I went with him and stuff like that. And then I went back home. But yeah, that's my funny corporate world story, because I'm not a big fan of the corporate world. That's why. So I'm appreciative of like you guys who can
totally.
I'll make an earnest living off something creative.
Yeah.
But anyways, you're right. Back to the music. That's just how it was. So I do want to get into one thing about physical media, as we've talked about, and as you've blessed me with these. For the people who don't know at home, what are these two albums right here?
So on the left is the crib I grew up in, the triple decker in Dorchester. And that is a legendary spot. If you know, you know. I can't say things on the air because because of things,
right?
And restrictions. And in 7 years, I could talk about some of them, but actually, I could talk about some of them now. But anyways, and then that's War Dogs. That's with the homie Piff and Cream. Those are older projects. So the CDs I did like early in my career. I started doing tapes more. I've sold out of all the tapes, or I would have brought you some. Those sell better for me. They're novelty, blah, blah, blah.
And we don't got a lot of like tape players nowadays.
Oh, you don't? Yeah, and I'll be real with you. I'm pretty sure 99% of my fans who buy tapes just buy them for novelty, and they have them as a collector's piece.
I mean, I don't even got a vinyl player, but I was
going to say maybe 20% of my fans who buy the vinyl play it on vinyl. I bump vinyl because I sample from vinyl. I was actually one of the earlier dudes collecting vinyl back in the day. And you can ask any of the homies. I was screaming at people in 2013, press your shit on vinyl. It's going to come back.
Yeah.
When it was, but not how it is now. You know what I mean? Like, it's way, like, infinitely. It eclipses it, basically, to where it was. And I was in cheapo a lot, buying, like, finding all old records, all Almighty RSO, Mr. Liff, like, shit like that. Even Insight, old shit, the Schizophrenics. Because I ran a radio show and I just would want to play some throwback joints. I would always have a formula. About 5 to 10% would be throwback joints, because a lot of these kids didn't know the song Home with everybody on that joint. And then now a lot of these kids are like, yo, I remember Overdog used to play that shit all the time because I fucking love that song. But yeah, man, it's just one of those things.
Because we had that talk.
You need the physical media, because
the fact that we're losing media is insane.
Yo, lost media.
I don't physically understand it or mentally understand.
Look at Just Jordan with the whole Nickelodeon thing, and he just posted. He was like, why the show got canceled one season in? I wasn't giving up no ass, and they don't have his show on streaming,
right?
Because he wasn't giving up the ass.
Yo, that Nickelodeon stuff.
It's crazy, bro. It's a sick world when it comes to that shit. But anyways, back to the media part. So the biggest reason with Whodunit. Ask them. I was talking about 2019. I was like, we're getting a vinyl, bro. We're getting a vinyl done. And it took me 4 years, but it was one of those things where I don't want to put the time into an album and press it unless I feel like it's the one. We had Whodunit done in end of 2020, and we just knew. We were like, this is it. We're going to put this aside. We're going to drop this with the vinyl. And yeah, man, like, bro, we've had people ask us to sign hats, like crazy stuff where I'm
like I said, I want y'all to sign mine.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm gonna get that shit framed, or at least do it like he does it over here.
Oh, hell yeah, bro, absolutely. And then we're gonna be doing more too. But it was one of those things where a vinyl was a dream come true for me because I was collecting it since 2013. I'm listening to the test press. My wife's like in tears, like bawling her eyes out. She's like, baby, I am so proud of you. And I can't even process the fact she's crying. Awesome. I'm like, I just need to make sure this is actually approved, and I'll cry with you right after.
Yeah,
you know
hold off your tears for just like 5 minutes.
I was like, give me 1 second. But that wasn't even the first time I heard my music on vinyl. It was actually that was the first time I heard my music on vinyl, but the first time it was released was a Crime Apple joint called El Cantante.
Shout out to Crime Apple.
Yo, that's the homie right there, man. Shout out to Crime, Primo Prophet, RLX, Michelangelo, the whole Monteca family. I love y'all. You're family, man. But it was one of those things where me and Loman made a joint at my crib. I ain't gonna lie, man. We was off the mushrooms at the time. We were like, we're going in.
Yes,
we're smoking big fucking doinks in the Amish. And then, rest in peace. But then after that, we just made this beat, and I was like, yo, we're booming off the booms, right? We're booming, bro. Well, I'm like, yo, you should send us to Crime. And he's like, yeah. No, that's a perfect thing, bro. We didn't send it. A month goes by. I was like, yo, you ever send that? He's like, yo, bro, I'm going to send that tonight. Oh, shit. 7L's right here. I got to talk to him. We didn't send it. It was his birthday. A month later, after that, he's like, bro, if you don't send that, we're not cool. Playing around, but like, I'm like,
no, but like,
he said sent. He like, as soon as I said that, like, it was on some like synchronicity. He had already been sending it at that time because it was like his birthday. We're all getting messed up in the lab or whatever. Yeah. And he sent that. Crime just replied like, yep, this is it, bro. Send anything like this. We got a few more joints in with them, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, that was my first time hearing my music on vinyl. She cried again. You know what I mean? And before I could, because I'm so like I'd be in it, bro. You know what I mean? If you see me at a show, absolutely, I might dap you up. Even you see me, I dap, what up? Yeah. And like yo, Chow's my man, but he's doing some shit, right?
Right. No, that's the thing you gotta understand with like a lot of like these videographers that you may know, or when they're at a show, it's work mode.
Yeah, totally. So I'm getting paid to be there.
You're clocking in at whatever retail job you got. Yeah, that's where they're clocking in at. So you just gotta like.
And I'm not cheap, so if I'm gonna charge it, I'm working. You know what I mean?
That's why. No, if I see you at a show, I'm gonna. It's one quick dap and like.
Yeah, totally. I might pop out for smoke a blunt with you.
Something like no, go do your thing.
That's only at shows. I don't do that at corporate events. Hire me, Chow Films.
Right.
I mean,
there you go.
But yeah, man. Fucking thank you for having us, bro. Just to say that
this is like I said, this is like one of those interviews I'm gonna look back and it's like, thank God I did this shit. You know what I mean?
Thank God we did this shit,
thank
bro.
God y'all are here right now.
I'm happy, man.
I do have a couple more questions before we get out of here. Beat pong.
Yeah.
I think that shit is incredible. I unfortunately have never made it to a show, but again, shout out to Jeff Ford. He's told me it's been excellent.
He always hits me up. He loves them joints. Shout out my homie Jeff.
Did you hit up Vinyl Index and like, yo, let's do this? Because I feel like you've had a stamp on every beat pong.
It's my event.
It is your event. Okay.
So it's my event. It's not my name that I came up with. John Glass, my brother. Shout out to him.
Shout out to John Glass.
So Loman, my brother Loman, bro. I can't believe I went the whole show without shouting him out like this. My brother, bro. Straight up. Did arrange the flowers with DJ Slipwax at my wedding. You know what I mean? Just straight up. Like, that's like family right there.
Yeah. Love that.
Don't ever disrespect that man because it's for you. But anyways, it's one of those things where, I'm pulling a brain fart, bro. What are you talking about? Beat pong. My bad. I just got into like, it's about to talk about Loman, blah, blah, blah. Right. And then I'm like, beat pong. So we had a show called Overdell Radio 2014 to 2018. Loman was a fan of it and listened into it. And this is when I thought me and Loman almost weren't cool at first. I thought he was a dickhead because he was overwhelmed at a show. He just did the album term. And I'm like, I'm a very sociable person. I'll walk up to you and I'll talk to you, blah, blah, blah. But I pick up on the social cues. If you're busy, you're busy. I didn't pick up on he was busy because he told me, bro, I was just busy. I was like my first show doing beat set. And then we became cool, blah, blah, blah. But then he came to the radio and I was like, yo, we had free ciphers all the time. Like, 3 or 4 artists at once. And then Loman was making a beat a week for like 4 months. Wow. Just like coming to the show and just being like, yo, I have an hour to make a beat.
So that's like almost 30 beats almost.
Yeah, 4 months, once a week, 16. So
16, okay.
So he did like he did a beat a week, but it was for the freestyle shit, right? And people loved it. And then John Glass goes, "What if y'all did beat pong?" And then for those who don't know, you take 10 cups and you put the name of a sample. Now we do records, so you have the whole record. And whatever you hit with the beer pong toss, you would have to flip by the end of the night.
Y'all actually...
That was on the radio for 10... We did 8 episodes of that. I'll send you the old flyers.
Yeah.
You know, we could throw them up in the thing and throw them in the video, whatever. But... So everybody except for one person who's been on that has done another beat pong. So this is technically season 2 of that. The last 3 episodes at Index, we did not do that because there's so much loud music there when people are doing sets. It's hard to make a beat. Yeah. The first 5 we did. The last 3 we did not. Yeah. So we're moving that somewhere else. Index is like that's my family right there. So I'm giving them a different event. And then I'm also going to be doing a different event at Scope. Those are my brothers, Voices of Liberation. Basically,
Scope Apparel?
Yeah, Scope. Those are my brothers right there. I do all their video work for. But what I want to do is this stems back to the Cali tour. You know, they throw tons of Beats events out there. Like
and for those who don't know, the Cali tour is the Low Lights.
Oh, Low Lights. Kadeem, Lightfoot, Loman, those are my brothers.
I caught
right
a
there.
stunner at one of those shows.
Yo, for real.
Shows are lit.
The homecoming for the first one, that was the second one. We just went to Cali. But now with Beat Pong, we're going to be doing more with that. We have Slapbox, which is the producer battles. We have Summer Slaps, which is the once-a-year event. And then we have something else I'm not going to tell you about yet because the name might change. But there's more beat events coming. And that all stems from me doing the radio and missing putting people in a melting pot. Because like at Overdog, we had mad times where like, I don't want to say anybody's names because people might think I'm trying to like take credit for certain things, but definitely a lot of people met a certain person, blah, blah, blah there that is now like big things that have been happening for years. And I don't want any credit for that. I'm just happy those places are there. Of course. Mark Maron is the biggest reason I do any of this. Mark Maron in Leeds, but mostly Mark Maron because he did it on some like, you know, for the culture.
Yeah. Wow, so you like know mad people because like, you know, you just name dropping Leeds and stuff like that. And that dude's had, you know, pulse on the scene since 2004. Yeah. But then I've seen some of the names that have come through.
Well, Maron was like the dude who would do like the local shows, basically like Leeds.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, Leeds had a system where, you know, some people criticized it, whatever it may be, selling tickets.
Yeah, that's neither here nor there.
I'll say it right now. Mark Maron's the first person who would be like, they'd be like, well, he needs to be more like Maron. Maron's like, bro, we wouldn't have these shows unless Leeds did that. So shout to Leeds. Right. Like, bro, that wouldn't have happened. But
it's cool to see like the other side of the spectrum with that. Because you know, a lot of people immediately when you see pay to play, it's like that instinct of, oh no, fuck that type of shit. But I mean, where it could lead to is what.
I've been a part of some corny shit where, like, you know, I filmed for clients and they're doing the pay-to-play stuff. They were doing it like Leeds where they would put you in front of a big artist. There would be like 10 local acts charging them all $300 to perform in front of each other.
So you can't do that. Yeah.
That's crazy.
You got to have the big act. And then,
that we've all been there. It's like fucking stupid shit.
I never paid.
He doesn't pay, but like,
no, of course not. You shouldn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you kidding me at this point? You fucking kidding me?
But nah, just to say it, man.
If they try to charge you,
right?
Or you, even if you want to get on the mic again.
Yeah, I paid to play for one joint back in 2011, but that's it. But yeah, man. So shout out to everybody who shows up to Beat Pong, because like, bro, that's one of those events where the city goes crazy for it.
No, it really has. You've had, like I said, you've had some names that I know. Obviously, one of my past guests, Diva the Genius, has been on there. Tremendous.
Killed it too. He was one of the dudes who was making beats in the corner with the speakers blaring against his head. He's like, yo, I got 3 beats. I'm like, all right, bro.
Yeah. Nah, he's him like that. But I don't know why. I'm coming to the next one. You have my word on that.
Come on, bro. Come on,
Dougie. Hey, you have my word on that. I'm coming to the next one. So I wanted to do this segment with y'all that we have on this show called Gas, Bass, or Mass and Cass.
Oh, the Brandon Bass.
Yeah, exactly. See, you were a big fan of that. Yeah. I got to post them more on Instagram. But for those who don't know, I give you an opinion or a take. You're going to tell me if it's gas. Gas means you fuck with it. If it's Bass, like Brandon Bass.
Mediocre.
He's like, yeah, he's all right. Yeah, he's all right. One of my all-time favorite sellers, but, you know, just all right like Bass or Mass and Cass where it's got to go. So for Chow, I want to know, we're in WrestleMania season. You know what I mean? We're
in the build-up right now.
I think we're about a week or so away, maybe even 10 days maybe. Is the card shaping up to be gas?
The fact that we got The Rock on it, I'm going to say it's gas, even if he's kind of like a TKO board member and he might not lose, but like whatever the fuck it may be.
You think they win?
I don't know, man. Like, I think that the bloodline's going to be there, and then Cody's going to assemble the Avengers. Like, I think John Cena's going to pop out. Okay. I think it's going to be crazy, and I don't think Cody's going to win.
I don't either.
But I want him to.
I don't think he's going to win either.
I want him to.
And you know why I don't think he's going to win? Because they're going to have him break Hulk Hogan's title reign.
I think
because they're trying to modernize that shit.
Yeah, because they also want to get rid of the racism.
Right, exactly. They want to get him and Vince McMahon right out of there. So they need until September of this year for that to happen. I think
he's going to do it. I think Roman, and also I think WrestleMania 41 is going to be where he loses it. But I still think it's gas just because everything else that's going on. Like I'm a fan of the LA Knight, AJ Styles,
one of my favorites.
And I'm also not the dude who's like over criticizes wrestling.
Yeah.
If I don't like it, I just tend not to talk about it. But
that's a good way of putting it.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, because like, bro, they're trying.
Right. Because I can't get overly like hated on it. You know what I mean? I can't overly hate it. If I just don't like it, I'm just gonna be like, I don't like it.
But I'll tell you what though. The build up to the last AEW pay per view was fire. I love that. The last AEW show that I went to was great.
Yes, sir. Big business.
Big business was fire.
Shout out to CEO.
Bro.
Yo, I'm on TV doing the CEO.
My wife's like, she's like, that's Mercedes.
Yeah,
I was like, yes, it is.
If you run back, like, there's some gifs. There's actually, I seen a gif on Twitter
of you,
of her, like, you know, she's standing on the row, and you see me in the back with the orange thing, kind of doing the Jey Uso.
I love that.
CEO.
I love
that's
that.
like my real quick. That's like my, I want to say like. 4th time being on TV for wrestling.
That's fire.
You know the WWE Superstars, remember that show?
Yeah.
I was in the intro for that.
Really?
I was a young repeat. When you see John Cena do this, they cut to me doing that at a Raw. And crazy.
Do you have that screen recorded, bro?
I have it on YouTube. I'll pull it up. I'll pull it up for
you.
Need
that,
right.
bro. Need that.
Funny story about that. I didn't watch that because that's that was like a third show there.
Yeah,
so
that was like
Down.
Heat or.
So I'm playing hoops, and all of a sudden this kid to me was like, "You were on TV last night." I'm like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, you were on wrestling. I'm like, but there was no wrestling. It's like, what are you talking about?
Oh, yeah.
So, like, I wasn't putting 2 and 2 together. And I got home. My dad pulls up. He goes, look at this. I went,
that's amazing.
What?
That's so
that's one of, like, my all-time things. And then, when was, like, the second time? So it was AEW 2 years ago when they were in Boston. It was the Wardlow-MJF feud. Wardlow walks down my aisle, and you just see me standing in the middle of the aisle. Like, fuck him up. That type of shit.
Fire,
yeah, I have that all down pat. But yeah, I gotta give myself a quick shout out to that.
Hell yeah, though. You need to.
Yeah. So, Dese, for your gas, Bass, or Mass and Cass, you're a North Shore guy like myself. Yeah. We got some good eats up in there. But is the roast beef in the North Shore, I should say Northeast, really that gas? Or is it kind of Bass? Or is it Mass and Cass?
I say if you go to the right place, it's gas, you know.
But you think overall it's gas?
I do, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's kind of Bass. I'm not a big roast beef
what's
guy.
What's your favorite?
Anyways. Yeah, but what is your favorite? What's your favorite restaurant?
I need to know.
I don't know.
It ain't Kelly's, right?
No, I like Jamie's in Peabody.
That's the one everybody
He brought me there before, actually. Yeah,
that's the one everybody goes.
Did I bring you there?
Either there. Where did you get the 3-way from me? Do you remember?
It was Lundy's, I think.
Okay, yeah, never mind. That was a different spot.
That's for something.
Get him anyway.
Yeah, because that's what we're known
I haven't
for
had the butcher. I was trying to get the modern butcher.
Oh, yeah.
They only do it Saturdays.
Oh,
and that shit was like 3 blocks long. You got to wait in the line. 3 blocks. Oh, I ain't waiting for that.
See, that's the thing in the North Shore. We'll wait for food like that.
Yeah.
I won't wait for that.
Yeah,
shit.
I will. If I'm hankering for it that much, I'll suck it up and be like, all right, I'll wait. But ladies and gentlemen, that has been Chairman Chow and Big D's. Gentlemen, I want to thank you very much.
Can I get one shout out?
Of course.
Real quick.
Shout out anybody you'd like to right now, the both
Real
of you.
quick, the most important, my wife, Sarah, I love you with all my heart. Tank, I love you with all my heart. That's my dog for those who don't know. Shout out Turbo.
Like actual dog. Not
like
dog.
Yo, know what I mean? Little 65-pound pity.
Man's best friend.
Yeah, for real. Shout out my mom. Shout out to everybody. I'm pretty sure I got all the homies, but like, Connor C's, that is my brother. Another dude. If you mess with them, but that's about it, man. You know what I mean? I just want to shout them out real quick. Oak, Loman, Lightfoot. I'm pretty sure we got everybody. Shout out David Ryan.
The team, in case we didn't say
Oh, yeah, I think we did from the low lights and stuff like that. Just because, if you know me, I love my homies, bro. Like
real quick, T2. Shout out T.
Oh, shout out T. Bro, shout out T the Truth. That's my dog, bro.
Yes, sir. Dese, anybody want to give a quick shout out?
Shout out to my kids, man. Dom and Ange.
Yo, shout out to Dom and Ange, bro. I want to get y'all in the next
Those
video.
are good Italian names right there.
Yeah.
Dom and Ange. I
Dom
love
and
that.
Angelo, yeah.
I love that.
Ange be killing it with the ball right now too, right?
Yeah,
He just
I
played
got,
Scalabrini's
yeah,
kids.
Yeah,
Did he really?
Or kid.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Scalabrini's kid's good.
Is he really? Because that's the other crazy. Not before we get out of here. That's the crazy thing about the NBA. There's mad like kids coming up from like Kenyon Martin's kid, Eddie House, Rondo's kids. Balling.
I just filmed
Boozer's kids are good.
Right, exactly. They're unbelievable.
I just filmed that.
Peja Stojakovic's kid just entered the transfer portal too.
Yeah.
And I just seen a picture the other day. Not a picture, a video of Monte Ellis's kid playing. I'm like, I'm 26, but I'm like, damn, how old am I?
I know. I didn't film any of their kids, but I filmed the AJ DeBontis kid, and then a Cooper Flag, and then
Cooper Flag.
Terrence.
He's going to Duke, so I gotta slide him a little bit.
Bro, they were. Yeah. I was filming for them for. I can't even say the magazine. Wow, you're gonna know as soon as I said magazine. But anyways, they were incredible, bro, and like it made me realize that thank God I did not pursue basketball.
Right. No, I thought. Hey, listen, trust me, that was a pipe dream. I thought I was going to go to
pipe
the league.
Dream, bro.
I thought I was going to go
Smoking
to the league.
crack if you think you're playing that.
How good people actually are. Like
these 17-year-old kids that are like twice my size, and I'm 6'4". Like, you know what I mean?
No, I can't talk or shit like that. Like I don't got bothered. No, it's this whole thing. But so before I get out here, I do want to remind everybody that we have Bloomfest coming up on April 13th. Please go get your tickets now. It's at the Diaspora headquarters in Cambridge, Massachusetts. It's a 420 friendly event. So guess what? You're going to be able to light up in there and start your 420 week off right with some dope bars and some dope acts. Like, why not? You kidding me? Right, Mike? Exactly. Right at the camera. There you go. So again, please, if you like this video, leave us a like, leave us a comment, and make sure you smash that subscribe button. I want you to smash it like it owes you money. You know what I'm saying? I know I got crazy with that in the last video, but I'm gonna get crazy about it now. Fuck that subscribe button up. You know what I'm saying?
Fuck it up.
Like, give it the 5-knuckle shuffle and fuck it up like that. And as always, follow the podcast on Instagram. Say_that_pod. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, and I will see you in the next episode. Peace out, good people.